offerings, but it's not the Kabbalah, and we want to see the Kabbalistic or secretive things that are here. And there's some amazing things here. Now, the first one you don't have to count, because if you look at the back page, we got it all on the back page. I started out as one of the first things I found, and then I found something even more amazing after that. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Shalom. Shalom.
I heard so many wonderful things about you.
Thank you. I'm glad.
That's why I'm here.
I hope I'm holding up to them.
You're a friend of Abraham?
What?
You're with Abraham?
Yes, yes.
So can you share, because it's the last one?
We're old friends.
Okay, good.
Rose my wife had trouble with the copy machine again this week.
Tell you what, statement.
Quickly, yes.
Vayikra is Bar Mitzvah Center.
It's your Bar Mitzvah Center. Excellent. So you can tell us more about what it is
Tell
about.
you about the Haftarah.
The Haftarah, right?
I'm Jewish, I'm Tzartili.
Very good.
I'm from a mitzvah, remember?
All right, that's good. I gotta go. Okay, very good. It's his Bar Mitzvah of Parshat, so we'll ask Elkanah some questions later. All right. At any rate, it's called that because I found the code Emunah here, and it's where I actually started way back on last Thursday. I started this last Thursday. Usually on Wednesday I start. I don't remember why I didn't start on Wednesday, but something happened. But on Thursday I started. And this is where I started from. So we've got Emunah, and look at the back. The code word Emunah, belief or faith, by the way, that word was also in our types of offerings, because if you read what it says about Olah offering, and that's in the chapter of Olah, by the way, this is chapter 1, that's the Olah offering, the fully burnt offering. The purpose of the Olah was to demonstrate one's belief in God and submission to God's commandments. So you got the word Emunah right here. So when I saw that say belief, that's when I first looked up Emunah. I didn't know it was going to be in the Torah, but it was right here. So it's coded twice, once with a 55 skip and one forwards, and once with a 133 skip backwards. Now, I don't know your name. First name is?
Roberta.
Roberta. Excellent. I'm Robert, so.
Oh, I'm Robert with an A.
The kids in school used to unfortunately mock me when I was young. There wasn't this gender identity issue when I was a young kid in the 50s. At least I don't think. If there was, then nobody talked about it. Different bathrooms and all that. So kids in school just to mock me. I wasn't wearing dresses, but they might have called Roberta, because they know I'm a boy and I don't want to be called the girl's name. So they put the A on the end just to be mocky. But generally not. Some people did. Some kids, because kids could be that way. Anyway, so Emunah is coded with a 133 skip on the first page. You see that one, it's not underlined. And then that's a backwards code, and then Emunah backwards. So Roberta, I was going to ask you, do you understand about codes and the skips and all
No,
that?
I do not.
Okay.
This is an introduction for me.
Okay, so what you have, I can't really write on the board because it's got this thing in front of it, but I'm definitely not going to write on the screen. But let's take the one with the underline. So if you go to the second page where all this stuff is talked about, you see the aleph with the underline. I made that large aleph so we could see it. It's small, of course, in the Torah, like all the other letters. And I put the underline under it so I can differentiate that from the other Emunah. So you go from the aleph to the mem. If you were to count, you don't have to do this, but if you were to count all the letters after the aleph coming up to the mem and including the mem, you would have 55 letters there. That's why it's called the 55 skip. Every one after that has to have the same number of letters in the code as a skip. That is, if the first one's 55, I can't have the next one being 52. It has to be 55 also to whatever the next letter in the code is. So if I want to spell, let's say, dog, not that that's an English word, but if I had English letters and I spelled out dog, D-O-G, and the difference between D and the O was, let's say, 55 letters, and between the O and the G was also 55 letters, that would be called a 55 skip code. It's a code, dog, it spells dog, of 3 letters. That's how you do codes, and how you do it, you have to have a program that says, I say I want to look at the word dog, I type it in, and I look for all the skips possible that dog could be, whatever section of Torah that I'm looking at, or whatever section of book. You can do this with books in English also, but the codes would probably be meaningless, because why would it be dog? What's important about a dog unless you're reading a kennel book, or you're reading about dogs that people love or something? Then it might be a cute code. But here, why is Emunah here? Probably because of the fact that faith was talked about in these karbonos, at least the Olah offering, and that's why it's nice. But there's more. It goes way deeper, so we're going to read on. The 55 skip code, this word Emunah that I have right here, only this one, goes through 5 words. For example, the aleph of the Emunah code there goes through the word oto. It says, V'natach oto. right? Oto meaning it or them, right? It. So therefore, Oto is there. Aleph, Tav, Vav. You see the Aleph, Tav, Vav connected with the Aleph over there? Your Hebrew's okay, I guess? Decent, okay. Little, right? Little by little, yeah. So we got Aleph, Tav, Vav. Yeah. If you sit over there with Sarah, she'll point out the stuff to you.
Thank you.
She's good at that.
She's marvelous at that. Marvelous Sarah. Really.
So I'm looking at the word Oto right there.
Yeah.
So it goes, that Aleph goes through the word Oto. The code crosses the word Oto. And Oto happens to have the gematria. Gematria means I add every letter with its numerical value. Now Aleph, since it's the first letter of the Torah, it would, first letter of the alphabet, I'm sorry, has the number 1 associated with it. And the Tav has the number 400 standard gematria because that's the way the gematria is counted. The last letter, 22nd letter of the alphabet is equal to 400. The reason why is because the ones before it were 300, 200, and 100. And before that was 90, 80, 70, 60, etc. I'm going backwards. And the Vav is worth 6. So I add 406 and 1 and I get 407. Do you see on the page I wrote 407 down there? The gematria of these words is 407, that's the first word. 62 is the second word it goes through. 12 is the value of the third word, 90 and 67. The total of all of that came up with a number that I liked. Now the other one didn't. The other code gave me a number that I didn't think was so wonderful. But this number is great. 638. You know what that happens to be? That's Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. That's our patriarchs, the Avot. And they're there in the number that Emunah goes through. Now why would that be important? Well, who do you think had that? Abraham's talked about having Emunah. In fact, if you look at the first prayer, the Shemona Esrei, that we say 3 times a day, right? The Shemona Esrei. So it says, Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu v'Elokeinu Oseinu, etc., etc., etc. Besides being coded in there, this is a bracha that talks about Abraham's complete faith in God, because it says in there how everybody's going to see the end of days, everything's going to be great, Abraham and his descendants. So therefore Abraham, it talks about Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. It talks about all the Avot, that's why it's called the prayer Avot, there. So they all had Emunah. Certainly Yitzhak had a lot of Emunah. He knew that he was supposed to be sacrificed, this is what's supposed to happen. Or maybe he wouldn't be sacrificed. Maybe Abraham would stop it, whatever, which is what we hold as the Shita, that he stopped it. Oh, they didn't like us, so the Shita. All right, so this is Abraham, Yitzhak had Emunah, and of course Yaakov had Emunah. They have Emunah, and this Emunah code goes through words that add up to them. To me, that's like incredible. How could this even be? And that's a second level of meaning.
That's a number.
Incredible.
Notice that split with the city split. These words, those letters are in. These are their
Have a numerical value each word, they're listed, and they happen to add up to 638. When I saw that number, I knew what that was. It happens, because I know that number. Happens to be Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov.
What's the significance of 638? The 613 mitzvahs, right?
Correct, and that's not the number 613, but it is the number of their names. Their names themselves add up to 638. You're right, there's 613 mitzvahs, and I don't have one today with 613, but many times there is 613 comes up also. If I saw that number, I would also be very happy. But this number came up, and 638 is their names. So they're the people, the main starting people who had Emunah in God and faith in God, and therefore we should too, because we're the descendants of Abraham, Yitzhak,
Okay, but the number 638
equals the
equals the names, the gematria, Abraham,
Okay.
Yitzhak, and Yaakov added together. Equals their names.
Okay, but anybody's names here could add up to certain numbers too.
Correct, but it's not that number.
But it
My
would-
name's Reuven. So let's say I added my name, Reuven, and then I added 2 other men. What's your Hebrew name, Herman?
Tzvi.
Tzvi. So I added Reuven and Tzvi and Elchanan. That's his name. Elchanan together. It would be a number, and I could compute it, and it's not 638. Trust me, it's not 638.
Okay.
The only one of names that I know of, that I'm not saying there isn't any others, but 3 names, well, 2 there might be, but 3 names, it would have to be Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And how do we know this? Well, we can look at another way, too, just really quick on one foot. I was like, a lot of stuff to get through. But still, it's a good question. So, what if I looked at the sons of Yaakov? So the sons of Yaakov are 12, right? Levi, I'm a Levi, happens to be one of them, right? There's also Yehuda. So the first son was Reuven. That's my name, but I'm not from that tribe. So Reuven, got Shimon, you got Levi, and you got Yehuda, the first 4 sons of Leah, right, from the Torah. What if I added their names together? And I have, by the way, but just forgetting adding the names, look at each one of these names. So Reuven, what is it? It's 259 in Gematria. Is it a number that's very special? Well, to me it is, because it's my name. But if you factored it, if you took it like 12 is 4 times 3, but it's also 6 times 2. If I took it and I broke it down into parts, what parts would it have? It turns out that of all the names of the sons of Yaakov, there's only one name, and it's not Reuven, that happens to be a multiple of the number 26. 26 is Yud Kei Vav Kei. There's one son that's a Yud Kei Vav Kei son. Yaakov himself is the Yud Kei Vav Kei, because he's, I'll go on, I know, but it's 6 times 26 is Yaakov. But his sons, the only one that's like him, that's a multiple of 26, happens to be Yosef. In fact, I said it wrong. Yaakov
No
is
coincidence.
7. Yaakov is no coincidence. Yaakov is 7 times 26. It's his son, I was trying to say son. Son Yosef is 6 times 26. Isn't that amazing? All the sons. Who's his favorite son? It ain't Reuven. His favorite son is Yosef. So there's a meaning there in these numbers of how it fits. So 638 is important because it's their 3 names together. You're right. I could add women in the class, men and women together. I'd get all kinds of various numbers, but this is the group that's 638. Not 613, but they did that, but 638. All right, we're going on. There's more. What's more? There's a little group of 7 words there, and I happen to pick this group because it has this number. What number does it have? Not the number 638, but it has the number 1369. Why is that number important? So 1369, we're okay? Yeah. 1369, oh, you're looking at the sheet, right? 1369 happens to be Chesed. Are you familiar with the Sfirot? In Torah, there are 10 Sfirot that we talk about. It's Kabbalistic, it's very mystical, it's very, very weird, okay? It's the Sfirot. So the Sfirot are Keter is the top one, Malchus the bottom one. I won't name all the ones in between. But there's 3 in between that are Chesed, Gevurah, and Tiferet. Chesed means kindness. It's one of the attributes of God. Was God kind? Of course, he's ultimately infinitely kind. But he has these 10 special attributes, and they're named, 3 of them are named Chesed, Gevurah, which means restraint, like Yitzhak, and Tiferet, which means beauty or harmony. Okay? These 3 names are here involved in those 7 words. Those 7 words starting with HaKohen, HaZmecha, HaMizpacha, Al Ha'etzim, Asher, Al Ha'etz. I made them bold. They're not as bold as the letters, but I made them. Now I'm looking only at Gematria, I'm not looking at code here. 1369. Why is that important? Because you remember the 3 people we just talked about? Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov? Those are those levels. The levels of these 3 men are Chesed for Abraham, Gevurah for Yitzhak, and Tiferet for Yaakov. We have it here in Gematria, as well as the codes, right in what? All the Pesukim talking about the first chapter, which is all about the Olah, the completely burnt offering.